I didn't always want to do this. As a kid, I really wanted to be a magician. And then I got bullied about it, and I gave it up. And in hindsight, but in hindsight, thank God, because otherwise I would be an adult magician. You know, I'm going to say it, bullying works. Thank you, Brad. He's a roofer. I already had red hair as a kid. I didn't need to also be a magician, you know. I didn't need to also do capoeira, but I did it. If you don't know capoeira, it's a form of Brazilian dance fighting, which has a very noble discipline. Not too many real-world applications for a 12-year-old kid in Wellington. There was never a time I was getting bullied about my magic that capoeira came in handy. And they're like, "Hey, Nick, your magic sucks, bro." "Oh, yeah?" Oh, well, I thought he was going to attack us, but no, he's just doing some sort of beautiful dance. So let's all let our guards down. Things are going very well for me over here. Got my fingers in a lot of pies. Thank you. Fingers in a lot of pies. Fingers in a lot of pies. One of the fingers is in a pie that I'm thinking of is just, you know, thinking about the phrase fingers in a lot of pies. Thinking, I don't think it's a very good metaphor for being busy. Someone has to say it. I think if you've got your fingers in a lot of pies, you don't have much going on at all. And look, you know, this is an old saying. Maybe its meaning is lost to us, but I just find it very hard to believe that there was ever a time when the busiest man in town was the pie fingerer. "Oh, I'm so busy, you know. It is out the door today. It is mad. Oh, these have just come down from corporate. They want them fingered by end of day. I'll put them with the others. What are you still doing here?" "I'm so sorry. Your wife wants to know if you're still on for lunch." "Doesn't look like I have time for lunch. Look at all these unfigured pies." "I know, she just said that you have a reservation at the Ivy." "Oh, the Ivy. Oh, she loves the lifestyle. She loves the furs and the caviar that come with being married to a pie fingerer. But what does she think pays for all of that? It's fingers and pies. Get the fuck out of here. Hate my job." Who am I kidding? I love my job! I do miss New Zealand a bit. It's the people. I miss the people. I went back there last year and I was on a farm, as you often are. And I was talking to the woman who owned the farm and she said, "Do you want to see the miniature pony?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah." And she took me to this little paddock and she was like, "This is Grant." And it was this tiny little pony. And she was like, "Grant is very intelligent. Grant, do a bow." And Grant, he went, I was like, "Oh God, that's cool." And she went, "Grant, do a curtsy." And he went, like, okay, it's pretty similar to bow. And she said, "Grant is so intelligent, I'm actually training him to be the ring bearer at my daughter's wedding." Yeah. The only problem is we can't seem to get him to stop sucking his own dick. I was like, yeah, that's a thinker. That is a head scratcher. I don't want to be a bridezilla, but I have to think if it was my wedding and there was even the slightest chance that my ring bearer was going to stop bearing the ring and start sucking his own dick. Maybe get a different ring bearer. I don't know. Not my wedding. I did recently get married, though. Thank you. We didn't do rings in the end. Couldn't risk it. Could not risk it. But we had a lovely wedding. We had a band. I love going out to see like live. I love like going to see bands and stuff. This is what's so great about being over here is like you get to go see stuff. I went to see this band recently. I love that we're still when we go to see bands, they're still doing the little pantomime at the end where they're like, "Well, we finished," and we were like, "Bye," and then they go off and we're like, "Come back, come back, come," and they come back on. They're like, "Well, okay." I love that. It's so cheesy. It's so great. I like to imagine every time that it's the first time this has ever happened for the band, and that they're going backstage and they're like, "Guys, that was fucking amazing. What a gig! What a gig! Fuck, they're going crazy out there. God, why haven't they left? Oh, they really want us to play another song." Well, we already waved goodbye and we left, so that's, I mean, you know, we're not going to do that. God, they are going crazy though. If we were to go out there, what would we even play? I guess we could play our most popular song. Yeah. I think I am quite dumb, to be honest. I recently went on a tour of this castle with my wife. What'd you say? Okay. Sorry if that's controversial to bring up a castle. But you have them here, and I've seen them. And I went on this tour, and afterwards my wife was like, "Did you enjoy the tour?" And I was like, "Yeah." I found the audio guide pretty patronizing. And she said, "What do you mean?" And she listened to my audio guide for like 5 seconds, and she was like, "This is the children's audio guide." I'd taken the entire hour-and-a-half tour. Never noticed, but just got madder and madder. And then, like, thinking back, it was not subtle. Like, every room I walked into, it was like, "Isn't this a lovely big room?" Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty big. At one point, it said, "Look at this tapestry. Can you spot the red cat?" Yeah. Yeah. Do you like cats? What the fuck sort of question? Yeah. Yes, I like cats, of course. What would you do if you were a king? Finally, a good question. Well, off the top of my head, I would abolish bedtime. Yeah, so we had a really nice wedding, and I love. It's not a very good dancer. I remember my wife wanted to do like the couples dance, and she was like, "Let's just wing it," and I was like, "No, because I don't know how to dance. I really wanted to just learn how to dance, but learning to dance is so tricky. There's so many different types. I think there should just be one type of dance, and we just agree this is the dance. And that's the one we do. It could be one of those old-timey ones where, like all the, like people line up in lines and then they just sort of, you come towards each other. And it's not even really dancing. It's mostly just bowing and witty banter. I love that. If it was just "Oh, my dear, your cheek looks very pale this evening." "Oh, thank you. I paled it myself with lead." Wonderful. "Well, I hope you didn't pale it on my account." "Well, I didn't pale it for the Duke." "But you ought to be wed to the Duke." "Not if I have anything to do about it." Oh my God. It's so exciting. Anyway, that's how I met my wife. She's an 18th century ghost. I've got to go. You guys have been so lovely. I've been Nic Sampson. Have a great night. This is great. Give it up for Nic Sampson, everybody. Woo, woo, woo. All right, guys. Yes, we got one more act in this